Hey everybody, welcome to Module 1 in my course on how to make this the most pivotal, growth-defined, amazing year of your life. Now, if you're finding this video off YouTube or somewhere else other than my website where the course is housed, check the link in the description and it will take you to the email sign up page, which will allow you to get all the other course materials and get the course, all the lessons in the course in a sequential way. But let's just get started in this mini course. I think it'll just be fantastic. It's short, it's concise, and it will really get you far in improving your performance in life. So this module, we're going to be talking about beliefs and limiting beliefs. The first stages of any type of self-growth or self-development is awareness and beliefs. First off, you have to be aware that something's even possible, whether that's something in the fitness world or something in the habit formation world or change development world or whatever it is, even awareness of a certain skill set. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're not aware that there's a certain diet out there like keto or intermittent fasting, you're not even going to try it. If you're not aware it's possible to switch careers into this new job title like video production assistant or graphic designer for YouTube channel art, you're not even going to try it. So awareness starts the process, and then beliefs are really what ends it there or keeps you going. And usually your beliefs are things that really limit you from success. So what do I mean by this? So many experts call limiting beliefs different things. I know Vishen Lakhiani calls them rules, BS rules. Ramit Sethi calls them invisible scripts. But throughout your life, you unconsciously develop hundreds, thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of beliefs about your reality. And these help you survive or function in this world. You believe that the chair you sit on is going to keep you up when you sit on it rather than collapse. And you believe certain things about, how the world should interact or react when you do certain things. For example, if I do this at my job, this will happen. And sometimes these beliefs are wrong or limit your potential in life. So I want you to really define one of the goals that you really want to succeed in. And then on a piece of paper, jot down your awareness to what's out there that could potentially change. And then more importantly, some beliefs you have that might be holding you back. Let's do this. Let's do an example of this. So let's say you're a student who wants to do better in school and get better grades. The awareness part might be, hey, maybe I can get better grades using these techniques or this course. Your beliefs, and there could be dozens of them, but let's just write down a couple. Your limiting beliefs could be something like, I cannot do well in school because I believe I am dumb. Or I think that I can only improve my grades so much because I have a bad track record, or I already have all this baggage, or I have a bad family life. Your beliefs could be anything. There are an infinite amount of limiting beliefs, and they're unique to your circumstance. So write those down. And now, all we're going to do for the rest of this first module is to really examine these and break them out and create a new belief that is more supportive, more productive for your success. So how would you do this? First step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is there any data, research? Is there any reasons or evidence out there that prove that maybe this isn't necessarily true or at least completely true? So using that same example, I'm going to kind of illustrate for you. You could look at the data on Google Scholar or just Google stuff, and you might find that, wow, a lot of B students end up getting to be CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. In fact, a lot more of state university graduates become CEOs than Ivy League grads. So you don't have to be this perfect smart individual. Or you can look up the average IQ of a high income earner, and you might be surprised that like some of them are much lower IQ than you think, or the average IQ is much lower than you think. And you find out a lot of the geniuses, they tend to get caught up or flounder because they lack in other areas like social intelligence or business savvy. Those are ways of potentially mitigating what you think. Or start looking for ways where you did demonstrate intelligence. Maybe you weren't necessarily the best at math in school, but you realize that your friends call you smart because you're very street smart. You're very friendly and you understand and you're adept at gauging other people's emotions, behaviors, and motives, and coordinating and navigating that situation. Or maybe you did some smart move in some area of your life. Maybe you started your own side hustle and that took off even though you're young. Whatever it can be, you can start mapping out different things. Another way other than challenging it, so first off, write out how you can challenge it in that piece of paper. You can also look for things to reorient your belief. So this is the final step. After you've challenged it, you want to think of a new belief that is more serving to yourself, serves you better and really lifts you up and gets you to that next level. So this might be something like, rather than I am dumb, what about I am going to work harder than other people after school, and this is going to make up for anything that I miss. I may not get something the first time, but I believe that if I just keep repeating it and practicing 2 times, 3 times more than the average person after school, I will outwork them and I will get better grades than them. That's just one possible belief. It could be something more simple too, just something more empowering and simple. Rather than saying this is a handicap, you can say, hey, this is my strength. So, for example, you could say, hey, rather than saying I cannot succeed at this because of my past track record of bad grades, or that's just going to hinder me more, or my IQ isn't high enough, you could say something like, I am more capable than I ever thought possible because I am young, I have energy, I'm more motivated, I'm taking this course, I believe that those things, those initiatives, that hustle is more than the average person, and I believe I can take it from there. There's many different more empowering beliefs that you can replace that with, and it can really get you ahead. I want to give you a few more examples from other industries or areas just to give you an idea of what you can use. So I got this from Michael Hyatt, another personal development / entrepreneur type of guy. He had a few examples from the career world. So he had a few of his students say, I just cannot get a job because I'm too old, or I have too much education or experience. And then so on the flip side, he had he had opposite students saying, I am too young, too inexperienced to get a job. So you can see both people had excuses no matter what their age was, but they were limiting themselves. So instead, he had these people come up with new beliefs, and their new beliefs were, I have more experience and networking connections and wisdom because of my age. And then the young person, he changed that person's beliefs from I'm too young and inexperienced to I am more energetic, able, capable of being free and independent to outwork people. Those are the type of beliefs that can really, really get you ahead. So um, it's not just about it's not about tricking yourself into believing something that may not be true to empower you to succeed more. It's about actually defining inaccurate beliefs that are roadblocks and eliminating them because they only serve to hinder your progress. And as I mentioned, you could use data and research to really, you know, unearth these. With the example of the person being too old, um, there's data on the internet about how a study of over 500 startup companies earning more than $1 million, 2 times as many of the CEOs are over the age of 40. So that's real data showing that, just because you're older doesn't mean that you're worse off. In fact, you may be better at starting a company. So there's actual accurate data out there. It's not just about tricking your mind with more false information. It's also about empowering yourself. You could argue, well, both groups seem to be having issues. Aren't you lying to both groups? No, they're hindering their own progress because of these beliefs. Both groups are maybe not applying and hunting for resumes or presenting themselves and their experience and their abilities to the best that they possibly can because of that insecurity. Maybe they're even giving up or shooting themselves in the foot because of that insecurity, because they don't think they're capable. So that may come off in the job interview. That may come off in the whatever, even applying. Maybe they won't even apply to certain things because they're like, I'll never have a chance, and that holds you back. So when you realize that, you can eliminate what's not serving you any longer, and then move forward in the best way possible and put your best foot forward. So that's really what it's about. Limiting beliefs can really affect you in the most subtle of ways. If you go back to Vishen Lakhiani and Ramit Sethi, two entrepreneurs who talk about limiting beliefs in various areas of personal finance, entrepreneurship, and self-development. Limiting beliefs can have effects on things not even related to self-development. Vishen, in his book, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, he has a segment where he talked about how his parents forbade him from eating at McDonald's. And he always wanted to eat there because it looked so cool, but he never got the chance because basically his parents said, because of our religion, you can't eat beef. But when he asked why can't you eat beef, they didn't have an answer. They just said, that's what the rules say. And so he saw that as a limiting belief. Eventually, he started to destroy his limiting beliefs. He eventually ate a hamburger at McDonald's. Turns out wasn't as much as he hyped it up to be, but still he was able to break through any of those beliefs that really had no productive effect or no rational reasoning behind them. Jumping to Ramit Sethi, he had a few limiting beliefs himself about his life, and he saw it in many of his followers. Even some of the things that your grandparents did. He talked about how if your great-grandparents maybe found a job a certain way and they passed that down, even if it was not the most effective way, you may still be following those invisible scripts and doing it how your grandparents did it just because they told you how to do that and you assumed that was the best way when it wasn't. So who knows what type of scripts you're running through your family, through your parents, that may not be the most effective. And so I'm going to keep it as concise as possible. I'm going to end it here. That's it. Can't wait for Module 2 in this mini course to take things to the next level.